Sha Tin for an 11-race programme on Sunday is where we head. It's a mixed card as well. We've got 9 of the races on the turf and 2 on the all-weather. Races 7 and 9. We'll be looking at one of them on today's show as well. A very warm welcome to it. I'm Andrew Lejeune. Please, I'm joined here in the studio by former analyst in Paul Alley and race caller Mark McNamara as well. And Mark, broken record. It's still raining.
It is indeed, and raining quite heavily the day before the meeting. We had a yielding track at Happy Valley on Wednesday night, so keep an eye on the weather. It is supposed to improve on Sunday. Whether or not we'll get a track that upgrades to good, we'll find out. But a dual course meeting with some all-weather races, and Galaxy Witness takes on Running Glory.
Could be a good race over a mile. He's 4 from 4 so far. We've got a nice jackpot in the 6-up pool.
Well, we have 3.7 million going into that jackpot, so a decent one there. We haven't started building the arc at this stage. We'll see what happens weather-wise tomorrow. We've got quite a few first starters throughout the card as well, so we'll see how they go. And a couple that have raced in other jurisdictions in the last.
Yeah, I think they may be quite well fancied as well. Before we get into the programme itself and Sunday's racing, have a look at this race as far as the Trainers' Championship is concerned. Mark, look, it's going to go right to the very end, but Frankie Lord does hold the upper hand.
He does, and he's just keeping John at arm's length at the moment. Numerically on Sunday, Frankie has 8 runners, John has 11, but in 2 races, race 8, Frankie's got 3 runners and John's got 3 in race number 7, so their numbers compressed a couple of times.
John's not going to give this away easily, though.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about that whatsoever. It's, as you say, it's going to go right down to the wire, and we've seen John Size come from a lot further back than that and win the premiership in the past. So he's been there, done that.
He certainly has. Be Frankie Law's first, though, if he does win this year. And Nick's been out at Trackwood to catch up with Frankie to see what he thinks on the championship race.
Excellent pairs, and be ready with 2 winners for you on Wednesday night. That was obviously very pleasing. Do you feel you still got more bullets to fire before the end of the season, Frankie?
I think boss and me, so both will fight until the last day. And he always said I'll try, but I think everyone knows my boss really strong, really top trainers, so I need to be careful.
He's still referring to John Size as his boss. Of course, Frankie was assistant trainer there for quite some time. Have a look at the runners on the day, Mark, what they've got. Pick out the best of them here, do you think?
Got Celestial Power returning from a spell. We the South never won past 1,000. He goes around on the all-weather. Everyone's victory race as well on the surface as well, but you can see there in race 8 he's got 3 runners. And those 2, Paul, Keefe's trialled up well. He's had a couple of starts, and Beauty Mission's certainly not the worst in the last.
I think it's his best chance, actually, Beauty Mission. I mean, the other ones have got chances, but I do like Beauty Mission in the last.
OK, as far as John Size is concerned, Paul, starting off with Diamond Star in the Class 5 and builds from there.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I mean, Bundle of Charm was very impressive on debut, but it's got to overcome the draw. Tycoon Jewelry, he had so many trials for his first start, and he did run nicely on debut. And Tornado Phantom coming to the all-weather once again, where he has won on that surface. Running Glory's been running well, Bourbon Air as well. So there's plenty of chances for John.
Escape Route and Power Kepper winner 2 starts ago. Running Glory and Bourbon Air. Bourbon Air's got better every start in Hong Kong.
He has. All right. To be very surprised. We weren't some winners amongst those 2 lists there. But let's have a look at the programme for Sunday. And of course, there's no midweek racing at Happy Valley next week as well. So go Sha Tin, then on to next weekend Sha Tin as well. This is meeting number 79 of the campaign. We are going to be looking at races 7 and 8. So race number 7 is on the all-weather, and the 8th event Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. So Class 2 here, 1,200 on the dirt. Field is headed by Grateful Heart, who just having his 2nd start on the surf. He's a 3-time winner at Happy Valley over the trip, though. Silver Figure, 5-time course and distance winner. Got Campione should roll forward, 1 course and distance, 2 starts back. We the South's got speed as well, but all his forms over Happy Valley's 1,000 metres. Kaiying Master, a last start course and distance winner. McLucky and Rock Your Heart having their first starts on the surface here at Sha Tin. Tornado Phantom, last start course and distance winner, comes up in class. And Red Desert is a 3-time winner over the 1,200 metre on the all-weather. All right, so we'll start as always with the speed map here. Mark, should be good in the early stages, and particularly Campione drawn low. You'd think he'd be kicking forward early.
It does look that way. We've got We the South. He's drawn out in barrier number 8. He hasn't quite been as fast away as what he can be, so he might be up there 3 wide with Kaiying Master the middle. McLucky's got speed too, Paul, and Rock Your Heart is a horse that likes to race hand enough as well, and if there is early speed on, that's going to help horses at the back, like the Greys, Silver Fig and Tornado Phantom.
Both got good finishes, haven't they? So yeah, McLucky's coming to the surface for the first time, so he has shown speed in trials, and we know he likes to race on the pace. That's why I thought he'd be there. But Campione from barrier 2 should lead.
Okay, all right. We'll have a look at him in a second, Campione. We'll start off, though, with Silver Fig here, Mark. This is him and Red Desert and Zarson a little bit further back. But Silver Fig gets back. This is his normal run style, but he's got a decent kick when it counts.
He does indeed. He's a 5-time course and distance winner. He's had a start since then. It was on the turf, but his all-weather form is excellent. It's a question, Paul, of how big a start he does have to give them. He's going to get back, but he absolutely flies home, and he's got to go win in the top 4 simply because of his distance and course stats.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he goes in for me, and you can see him just weaving his way through. He couldn't quite get the win here, sort of just couldn't get past the eventual winner. But look, as you say, it's just how much of a start he gives away.
That was 2 starts back for Silver Fig. We'll see it run at Happy Valley in a moment, as we will with Campione as well, Paul, because this was his win, and then he disappointed on the turf afterwards.
He didn't get to the lead, and that was the key. He's had 2 wins in Hong Kong, and he's led both times. So from barrier 2, you can see he's got plenty of ability. Campione, he's got barrier, the low draw, I think, is ideal. This is his only start on the all-weather, and he absolutely won really nicely. I think he can win again, especially if they leave him alone.
This was from barrier 12 this day too, and he showed speed to get across and lead. He did come up in grade and fail last time at Happy Valley, so he's got to do it again in Class 2.
So this is it. Not as quick out of the gates. There's Silver Fig as well, Grateful Heart. I think it should be his track, but just didn't fire this night, Mark.
No, he didn't, and just didn't get to the lead, and as Paul said, that could have been the telling factor, and he's had to bustle through in the centre there and worked early. Grateful Hearts only had 1 run on the all-weather previously. He finished 4th in that race, and we just forget about Silver Fig here, Paul. He finishes 11th, but switches back to his preferred surface. So no lead, no win for Campione. That could be the case again on the weekend.
Yeah, it could well be. And look, he ran on a little bit here in the straight, but some horses don't like Happy Valleys. This was his first go under race conditions. So I'm going to put it down to that. We know he likes the all-weather. He's 1 from 1 on it. So that's why I think he can win again.
That was McLucky down on the rail as well, who's just sort of weaking out a bit late. Back on the all-weather surface, though, Paul, this was Kaying Master, and not much wrong with this.
No, not at all. And I think he's the biggest danger, Kaying Master. Look, he's another 7-time winner. He's drawn nicely in barrier number 4, so he's going to be right on the pace. He's won a couple of times over the course and distance, and gee, fair dinkum just won easy here, didn't he?
He did. He comes back up in grade. He's yet to win in Class 2. He's had 5 starts for 2 placings. Carries 127 pounds, so he dropped 6 pounds on his back for that win, but it was a very good victory, so he's certainly in the top 4.
Good use of fair dinkum as well. He was first up for a couple of months there as well. It was Kaying Master. Can he do it again? What about these then, Mark? Zarson again out the back, Red Desert, Scores of Fun, and Rock Your Heart switching his surface now.
Yeah, found a spot for Rock Your Heart. He's unknown when it comes to the all-weather, but his turf form is so consistent. He's got a win and seconds and thirds and fourths right through his form line. So as long as he handles the surface okay, this is winning Dreamer, Paul, Trillium Win. This was a very strong field that he competed in last time. It's just the surface switch, but certainly found a spot for him.
Yeah, look, he was right on the cusp for me, and just because he hasn't been on the surface before, a couple more sort of seasoned horses on it went in. But look, it was a good enough run, and if he handles it, you're right, he's going to be right there.
What about Tornado Phantom then, Paul?
Yeah, no,
Comes into this class, he's up in class now, gets a wide gate, had a better draw this day, didn't he?
He did, but he generally gets back anyway, so I don't think he's going to be inconvenienced by the draw. And look, it was a strong win from him, and if he does get a wet, slow once again, look, he goes in for me because they do overcook it in front. I thought he won really nicely. He's been quite a consistent horse, this one.
He was on the cusp. He just missed out as opposed to a Rock Your Heart, but might get the conditions that we see there again on Sunday, although it's race 7. It's supposed to fine up later in the day, but he's honest enough.
Okay, so it's quite a competitive race, this one, Paul. Red Desert's actually our favourite. The stage is wide open, though.
Yeah, really wide open, but I like Campione. I think 1 for 1 on the surface, and he won well, and I think he'll lead. If he does lead, I think it's going to be hard to run down and win. Kaying Master was so impressive last time in the lower grade, so he goes in for second, and then those 2 grades we talked about, Tornado Phantom and Silver Fig, 3, 5, 9 and 2.
Going Silver Fig, he'll be last turning for home, but he'll be flying home. We saw the replay where he just missed Duke Y, and the Duke's had a pretty good season as well. So 2 on top, Silver Fig. Campione is the horse that he's going to have to run down. It's a matter of how far that he gives him. Start-wise, Kaying Master on that last start win, and Rock Your Heart, unknown on the surface. If he handles it, he's been racing well in strong fields. 2, 3, 5 and 8.
I was a bit disappointed with Campione last time at Happy Valley, but I'll give him another chance. If he can fight in the front and dictate, he'll be the one to catch down the straight for sure. That's race number 7. Still to come there and look at race number 8 and the unbeaten Galaxy Witness. That comes up next, plus all the best bets. That's still to come. Hong Kong racing heads to Sha Tin on Sunday. It's an 11-race programme. We start off with the Griffins, 2 races on the all-weather. We're up to race number 8 here, which is a Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. And we have 9 horses heading to post, headed by California 10 for Tony Cruz and Zach Purton, runner up to the Rock last time out. Dead heated in actual fact with Running Glory, who has since won. He won on his next start over the 2,000 metres. He drops in trip, all for St Paul's. Barrier 1, who should roll forward, comes up in class, as does Galaxy Witness. He's unbeaten in 4 starts so far. Bourbonnais just behind Running Glory last time out over the 2,000, dropping in trip as well. And Charity Grace was a winner 2 starts back, was over course and distance, but was in a lower grade mark. All for St Paul's, we assume he'll be in front.
It looks that way, Andrew. Good at slow pace because he might not get much competition for the lead here. Poor California 10, Celestial Power sitting just off him. Looking at the speed map, it appears as though everybody's going to get their chance in running. The favourite, likely favourite, Galaxy Witness 3 back the inside, and you expect Running Glory just to follow him everywhere.
Yeah, I think that'll be the case there. And Circa 3 we know generally gets back, Charity Grace is likewise. So, look, I don't think there'll be too much difference there. Looking great, has led over a lot longer trips. I think he'll probably take a sit there.
OK, all right. We're going to have a look at a couple of the key races in a moment. We'll start off, though, with our likely favourite here in Galaxy Witness. Unbeaten in 4 starts so far. Nick's been out at track work to catch up with his jockey.
Joe, Galaxy Witness has certainly been making headlines. He lines up for his 5th run this weekend. He's unbeaten in 4. How's the excitement levels?
It's always high, isn't it? When you have a horse that goes out there and win all the time that you ask him to go to, you couldn't be more excited than what you should be.
And what he's done so far, Joe, obviously, he's done little wrong. Last time out, on the ground, was he totally in love with it, do you think, from a rider's perspective?
I just think he didn't mind about the wet track. I mean, he just floated on top of it. He covered ground a little bit. I pointed him out, and he coped covering ground and hit the line very strongly. So we're coming up in class, but don't forget, we also dropping the weight off his back, which is going to help him. From the day when I got on this horse, I told Casper that I thought this horse was going to be a mile or even longer kind of a horse, you know, a longer kind of a distance horse. Apparently, Casper believes we step him up in distance, and I'm looking forward to sit on him on the weekend. He's definitely a promising horse as well.
He certainly is. He had a Happy Valley for a recent trial. He looked to come through that very nicely as well. Was that just a case of going
his
through
trials over there was outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done very well as we expected. He seems very much the same horse that we had in the past, with a little bit of more experience after having 4 starts. So he's a horse that I'm looking forward to ride on the weekend.
If he was to win his 5th and on the bounce, it'd be a great way to finish the season. I think Casper's gone on record as saying this will be his last run of the season, and then onto the 4-year-old series next year. So quite a bit to look forward to.
What he's done so far, it's quite impressive. He would be one of the horses that we all should have in mind for the Classics next season, and he deserves the credit.
Yeah, he's an impressive looking horse, an impressive record as well. Unbeaten in 4 starts. It's interesting as well. He's gone, Joe talking about distance, he's gone 1,012, 2 wins at 14 mark, and now up to the mile.
And he won his first 300 doing things wrong because his starts weren't faultless. Debut Paul over the 1,000. He missed the start quite badly and recovered to beat El Jefe, who always gets back and runs on over the 1,000. He wasn't brilliant away at the next 2 starts after that. He was his best start last time, and he's still been good enough to win.
Yeah, and look, and as Joe says, he thinks the distance is going to suit him, and he's won on a good to yielding track as well. So everything they've thrown at him, he's passed every test. OK, well, his test includes on Sunday Running Glory in California 10, Paul, who dead heated here behind the Rock, and Charity Grace is just behind him. Yeah, and look, it was a good run here, I thought, from Running Glory as well. He's come out since this run and won once again. The Rock sort of set up the pace in front and won really nicely. But I thought Running Glory's run here was full of merit. So I think he's the danger, actually, Running Glory.
Absolutely. We'll see it shortly. He's gone on to win after this start. He got very wide on the track to the outside rail, as they did that day. It was a rain-affected track. He looked to handle it well, and back to 1,600 metres from his last start win.
Yeah, he's won over the mile already, Running Glory. What about Celestial Power, though, Mark? Because this is only his, fourth start for the season. He's first up since November, but he's won 2 of his 3 starts this campaign.
Found a spot for him too. He beat Zabrowski twice in October and November. Zabrowski was a dual Group 3 winner after those races. Matthew Poon on his place first up. He's had 2 trials up at Chung Fa behind Ka Ying Master and also Far Far. And while I don't know if he can beat Galaxy Witness and also Running Glory, certainly in a fresh state, Paul, he comes back, as Andrew said, having won his last 2. He's in my top 3.
Yeah, look, he just missed out for me. Look, the 2 wins were over 1,800. This is fresh up over 16. So I'll just see what he can do here. We haven't seen him for a while.
Well, this is him up at Chung Fa. This is his most recent trial. I think, Paul, he's finished 4th of the 4 runners. Wasn't asked to do a great deal, but at the same time, you know, I want to watch him as well. He didn't blow me away.
Yeah, no, I agree. And look, one thing in his favour, he has won over the 16, but he's had 3 wins over the 1,800. I just wonder if the 1,800 metres will be his go, and this will be a sort of stepping stone to something else.
Just a correction, got him in for 4th. I'm going to ignore the trial because it wasn't impressive, but it was Chung Fa.
All right. Back to Running Glory then, Mark. This is over 2,000 metres, and he really does let down here. Bourbonnaire, his stablemate, gets better each start.
He does. He's done nothing but improve since he's been in New Zealand, Bourbonnaire. But Running Glory, there's absolutely nothing of him, but nobody's told him he's only the size of a larger pony, if anything, but he's won 5 from 9, placed a couple of times. The step back in trip isn't going to be a problem, Paul. Galaxy Witness is going to be hard to beat, but if there is one, this little guy is the guy to do it.
Yeah, and he's got the big ticker, isn't he? He never gives up. He always tries hard. There's no question there. And I do like Bourbonnaire as well. I agree. He keeps getting better as well.
All right, Anton Hamlin rode him there, rides him again. That's Running Glory. So here is Bourbonnaire, and all for St Paul's. Paul, a soft lead. He could, give him something to chase.
I'll put him in on a minor line because we know he's a hard horse to get past. He wasn't really favoured on this race. He'd been up in Chung Fa, but he really fought hard. He'd been downgraded into this. He comes here into Class 3, back up to Class 2. This was Class 3. So he gets back up to Class 2. I suppose that's a question mark for him, but he fights.
He does. Left him out just because of his Class 2 record. He's only had 1/4 from 4 starts, so that was just my worry about him.
All right, so Galaxy Witness, so Paul, 4 starts for 4 wins. He's odds on.
Yeah, look, he is odds on. I've got to put him on top, though. He does everything right. He's done everything asked of him, and he's quite an exciting horse. He's still a 3-year-old too, isn't he? So he's on top. Galaxy Witness, Running Glory, the toughest to beat, Bourbonnaire and All for St Paul's. We talked about those 3. 6, 3, 8 and 5.
Same top 3 as Paul, just a different 4th selection. Galaxy Witness on top, overcome some poor starts to his first few outings and still being too good at the end. And Joe Moreira rides for Casper Founds, goes to 1,600 metres. Joe, in that interview, sounded like he had no doubt it's going to suit him perfectly. So race 8, number 6 goes on top. Love the attitude of Running Glory. Antoine Hamlin, he's on board. He does carry an extra £5 for that win over the 2,000 metres. So he's up to 127 now. He's only a little horse. He's won with 128 on his back. Bourbonnaire's just got better and better with each run and ran 2nd behind Running Glory. He's coming back in trip 2 to the 1,600 metres. A Group 1 winner over that distance in New Zealand. And Celestial Power returns here. He has placed first up in the past. Not really taken by the trials up at Chung Fa, but he did go to the paddock with winning form. 6, 3, 8 and 2.
I got the same top 3, slightly different order. I'll stick with Running Glory against the favourite. I think you can give him a race here, certainly at that sort of price. All right, that's Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. Paul, 11 races. Who wins them?
Yeah, this is a good card here. We're going with Jolly Banner in the first. I thought the Griffin runs be good. Don't forget, he only had one sort of trial leading into his first run, so he keeps improving all the time. Second race is really open, Class 5. Go 16 there for me. Sweet Diamond won a trial recently. He's only had the 2 starts. He steps up to 1,200 metres. Forte's back to 1,000, which he really likes. 1,000 metres Forte. He's got good course and distance stacks. All is good. I thought all is good. Stepping up, another one up in trip, 1,200 to 14. He's only had the 2 starts. Both those have been pretty good. And Sparky Star really improved a lot when the blinkers went on him. And I don't mind Beauty Mission. I think Frankie Law can win the last as well.
All right. Lucky Banner in the first as well. Jolly Banner would have given him a race, those Griffins.
Did I say Jolly Banner?
Lucky Banner there in the first. Don't forget, you can see all of those on the website, audio video section there, hkjc.com. Who was the best of those, Paul?
Jolly Banner, a 10-year-old's trying to sneak into a Griffin race. That'd be interesting. Campione, I thought we talked about him in the show here. I think he can go to the front and lead and dictate. So he's the best bet, and the each-way play or long shot is all as good. Only had the 2 starts, ran 5th both occasions, and I like the fact he's stepping up to 1400 metres, so I'll stick with him. Did like him last start over the 12, but the 14 looks even better, and he's had those 2 runs now. And we'll do the play in race number 7 with Campione, Kaying Master, and the grey Toronado Phantom. Quinella place with those 3, 5 and 9.
Might change my best bet to race 1 Jolly Banner. Race 4 number 9 Happy Trio on top. Lowell Hewitson and Douglas White the combination. Blinkers go on. He's drawn out in barrier 12 down the straight. Ran 7th behind Charming Steed at Happy Valley over the 1200 last time, but he did race wide. 3rd and a little unlucky 3rd behind Cheval Valiant 2 runs ago down the straight on a good to yielding track. The Paul O'Sullivan Farewell Tour has kicked off in style, so Aurora Hero gets in with just 118 pounds on his back in race 6, an improving type. So he is the long shot. As far as the play goes, it is also in race 6. Sparky Star up in weight but racing well. Super Red Dragon off a placing. And that long shot Aurora Hero 2, 4 and 13.
All right, we'll go against the favourite then in race number 8, Running Glory. Antoine Hamlin on board. If his price stays what it is now, you could back him each way, but I think he can win this as well. Each way, we'll go race 3, number 5, One for All. Ruamai's drawn low. He trialled quite well, I thought, recently. Just his second start, he can improve on that at a price. And we'll go Bundle of Charm, who'll be favourite for that, I'd imagine, One for All. And Sweet Diamond, that is in race number 3, QQP. Now, you mentioned, Mark, there, the Paul O'Sullivan leaving tour. He does leave at the end of the season, but we've got a new trainer for the start of next, Pierre.
Who has worked under Paul,
yes.
And we wish Pierre all the best, following in his dad's footsteps, well schooled, John Size, and also Francis Lloyd too, Paul, so he comes with great pedigree.
He does, and we've seen these trainers like Frankie Law, Chris So, that have come under these trainers, and Benno Jung as well, that have performed so well here, so I'm sure it'll be a success.
Yeah, and you mentioned the trainers. We started talking about the trainers title. The local Jockeys Championship, Mark's going to go right down to the wire. Matthew Chadwick leading Vincent Ho by 1, and then Derek Long just a couple behind them.
Yeah, it goes, so there's plenty going on in all 3 premierships.
All right, that's all we've got time for. That's your show. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you at Sha Tin on Sunday. We will be racing to win.